Sup? It's another episode of Oshin's View. I'm Oshin. You already know who I'm in the building with. Willie Negro.
What up, what up, what up?
Shout out to the New York Knicks that took down the Philadelphia 76ers in 6
Word.
to advance to the Eastern semifinals. Jalen Brunson is looking like young Iverson, minus the athleticism.
He is, but we be all right. We be all right. Embiid was hurt. He couldn't play defense and grab boards.
I agree with that. Embiid was definitely hurt. He's definitely a difference maker. So hopefully Embiid can start being healthy, when it counts and stuff. But Tobias Harris, if I was you, don't take your exit interview like via Zoom. You in Philly, they are not playing with you in those streets. Do not walk around Philly.
Oh, my God.
Don't go anywhere on South Street. Don't just hop on Valley Forge and get up out of there. Just get up out of there.
Yo, that nigga got paid $40 million this year. Over $40 million, and he had a donut.
So if somebody came to you, so what you're telling me is this, because we ain't going to stay on this long. If somebody came to you yesterday and said, Willie Negro, we're going to give you $40 million if you can at least score 4 points in the game. Fresh off the streets, but this NBA game tomorrow. If you score 4 points, we'll give you $40 million. Would you be $40 million richer today? And you got, hold up. You got his minutes. 30 minutes.
30 minutes, yes. I'm shooting every time. I'm getting $40 million. If I'm paying 30 minutes, yes, I'm getting. As a matter of fact, I might bribe somebody like, yo, I got something for you. If you just give me the ball and let me get this 4 real quick. Forget about winning. I'm getting 4.
I think please. I'm liable to be like, for an extra 10, can I get it in the first quarter? Because once I hit that first 3, I'm like, whoop, straight going. I'm making one move to the basket, drawing the foul. I don't even want to make the shot. I'm just going to make the free throws. And then I'm subbing out. But, so I was looking at something online, and it kind of gave me an idea for the question I'm about to ask. Do you bring your current girlfriend or boyfriend around family events that your ex will attend? So, to clear it up for people that might have thought it was just a mouthful, you've had a long-standing boyfriend or girlfriend, and your family always has this cookout at the end of the summer, whatever the event is, but y'all have been going to it together for years. So now they know your partner, regardless of it being your ex, they know your partner.
Right.
But y'all are no longer together. And they've come accustomed to that person.
Right.
But now you've moved on, or she's moved on, whatever way you want to cut it, and do you bring your current girlfriend or boyfriend knowing the ex will be there?
To answer your question, no. That's a recipe for disaster. You don't want to do that at all. I do not advise that you do that. But it's my family's cookout.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful. She can't go. My ex can't go. She can't go.
But your family loves her.
Yeah, they can love her.
She loves your family.
They can love her, but she can't go. She can't. It's me. This is my family now. This is my family. That's the problem with when you have a long relationship and then you break up, right? Because you people are intertwined in it. You see what I'm saying? Now, so if it's my family's event, she shouldn't go. Out of respect, like you shouldn't go because especially if we've been broken up for a while and I'm in a relationship that's serious now. You see what I'm saying? So now, out of respect for it, I wouldn't go. If it was the other way around, I wouldn't go. If my ex had an event and she got a boyfriend or something like that, and I go to this event every year, I'm not going. She gonna bring her man, it's gonna be awkward. I don't know him, and it's gonna be awkward.
Okay. Curveball. Either one of y'all are married. Now you're remarried. Do you bring the spouse?
If we remarried, I should be able to bring my spouse to my family's event. She shouldn't go. Once again, she shouldn't go.
At all costs.
But the caveat to that is like a wedding. You see what I'm saying? So like, it gets tricky when it's a wedding. Like y'all have a mutual friend and y'all both were invited to this wedding, and y'all both get a +1. Then it gets crazy because you kind of gotta bring your wife to the wedding. You know what I mean? You're not going to not bring your wife to the wedding because she's going to be there. You know what I mean? That's where it gets tricky. You know what I mean? If it's a wedding of a mutual friend, then y'all don't have stake to that. You see what I'm saying? Y'all both got invited. You know what I mean? So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. So in that scenario, if it's a wedding, let's say, you and your ex are separated and y'all both moved on. Do you bring your current girl to the wedding that y'all both was invited to, knowing that she's going to be there?
Only if I know for a fact that she's bringing her current. If she's bringing her current, I got to bring.
What if she don't got one?
Then I won't bring mine. Well, if she's my wife,
yeah,
that's another thing too. Side note for that, I was watching a movie years ago and I never forgot it. It was I want to say Under Siege 2, Steven Seagal joint. That's not important to it, but the whole point is it was a scene in it where they were looking for Steven Seagal, and they saw his name on the manifestation. What is it? Manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
What you call it? The names and everything. Yeah. And it said his name +1. And they was like, maybe it's a wife. And the guy was like, a man doesn't call his wife +1 or whatever. And that mind you, this had nothing else to do with the movie. But I just remember him saying that. And he was so sincere. I was like, he was like, a man doesn't call his wife +1. Like that. So when you get these +1s, and I be thinking of these weddings, it'll be things like the Mathises. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how it was put up.
Yeah.
But to stay along lines of that, if I'm remarried, and me personally, I don't want that kind of confrontation. So I'm probably not going to go. But if we're under the so-called guise of, oh, nah, it's cool, whatever, she done moved on, okay, she's coming, or whatever. And, I'll be straight up, hey, how you doing?
How do you explain that to your current girl? So for example, y'all both get invited to this wedding and you don't want to bring your girl because your ex gonna be there. What do you say to your girl if she want to go? Like, oh, you going to a wedding? Oh, let me get a dress. What do you say to her? Like, you gonna just tell her like, yo, my ex gonna be there, you shouldn't go? That sounds crazy.
It definitely sounds crazy, but boyfriend, girlfriend is not wife, husband. So the conversation could be a little different. The only difference is, I feel like, what kind of argument you want to get in later on that night. Or you could, I don't know, maybe you might have found the one rare female that just understands. Nah, that ain't possible. Because I don't even know if they out there. But if you're that kind of lucky man that has the one woman, or maybe 1 through 5 women on the planet that would say, oh, I understand how you would feel. I understand that this would be an awkward situation. I'm not going to go. But that ain't happening because all the rest of us are running into the other 95%.
Yeah, because a lot of women ain't like that. They going to assume that you're going to try to do something with your ex.
Us too.
You know what I mean?
Us too. If her ex is there, and you look like word, then it's like, so I don't come, huh? So like, I'm not going to, I got to throw the lady some bait there because dudes is thinking the same thing or whatever. Like, that just opens up the door of the I word, insecurity. And the thing about it is, women show their jealousy totally different from how men show theirs. And we have it too. We have insecurities as well too. But it's just shown a little differently. But it's there nonetheless.
Well, I wouldn't feel no type of way. And I hate weddings. So I would be like, go.
Do you hate weddings? Do you hate weddings being in them or just going? Because there's a difference. So I don't like.
Right.
One time I had a run where I went to about 6 weddings. It is tiresome. Especially when you're in the wedding.
Yes.
It gets to the point, after that last time, it wasn't 6 in a row, but I did go to like 3 in a row. And after that, I think my next friend, I was like, I don't have to be in it. I don't understand you, my boy. Look here, I just want to sit in the audience and that's it.
Yes. I've been in a few. So I'll put it this way. I don't like weddings. I hate being in weddings. I hate being. I never need to be in another wedding. Ever again.
If I'm in another wedding, if I'm never in another wedding, it's too soon. And yeah, because it is all the things, especially if you're the best man. Luckily, I've never really been the best man. So, excuse me. So luckily, I didn't have to deal with that. But moving on, you had put an interesting joint up. No, matter of fact, I'm staying there because this was hilarious to me. Man says that he will not step in if his baby mother is being physically abused by her new boyfriend because it's not his responsibility. And in quotation, he says, she is no longer under my protection. She's no longer under my protection is wild. That joint is crazy. I will start with you. I kind of got my ideas on it.
So, one, he sounds pretty bitter. He sounds like he's mad at something. But I think what changes is his baby mother. You can't be beating on the mother of my child, because my child has to be around her. You see what I'm saying? And nah, you got to step in if somebody's putting their hands on the mother of your child. You see what I'm saying? Now your ex-girlfriend is a different story, but you know what I mean. Like I don't know about ex-girlfriend. Depending on how you feel about her. But as a man, you probably would step in if it was anybody putting their hands on it, you know, or not. These days, you might have to mind your business.
Let me tell you this. I had an ex-girlfriend get the snot smacked out of her at an event at the great University of Morgan State, and it wasn't at Morgan, but it was at a party.
Yeah,
thrown by us. Long story short, she got smacked. Dudes ran up to me to tell me. Now, mind you, the dude who she was currently messing with was there. But the thing about it was this. I look at the whole picture. Everybody didn't know that we were broken up because we was together for like 4 years. Everybody didn't know we were broken up. And I just played it out in my head. I said, since she got smacked and I'm there, they're not even going to say nothing to him. They're going to be like, he didn't do anything and he was there. So we had no kid together or nothing. That was to protect my brand of self. But I'm just saying, like, I'm telling you, I did it because I knew how it would get viewed if I didn't do anything because I was there.
So you just didn't want to protect her?
Yo, listen, her current boyfriend was there.
Where was he though? Why he doing?
When I saw him, he was pacing back and forth on his cell phone. And that's it. But this is what was wild to me about that. He was pacing back and forth on his cell phone, but it was his crew's party that was throwing it. All of his friends that he get down with were there. So I'm like, who could he be possibly calling? Like, I didn't understand that. To this day, it still plays in the back of my head like,
oh my God,
who were you calling? Because your friends are in here. It should have been. But like this, when I got the word that she got smacked, the whole football team, I ain't gonna say the whole football team. It was literally, rest in peace, my man Joaquin. We had about 25 people following. And I can get into the names. You know every single last one of them. They were following me and they were on go mode.
Yeah.
So I didn't even call like my media crew. It was just, they was like, yo, we out. You got a beef? We got a beef. Now, I'm total agreement with you with the baby mother thing. The only reason why I'm stepping in is because, like you said, and there's no other way to say it. You pretty much said it. This is the mother of my child.
Yeah.
He can't see his mother beat up.
No.
He can't be around his mother being beat up because kids at some point going to protect their mothers, and they might run up to the guy, get off my mother, such and such. And he, God forbid, if he smacks him, okay, I guess when you do stuff like that, that's just telling me you choose not to live anymore.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
it. That's just telling me you don't want to live anymore. You're asking for the coffin because it just can't happen. Now, this is the thing where the line gets blurred, because I know some people are going to say, well, that's what she chose. If this is the guy she's going to stay with, we're going to have another arrangement with our kid. And by arrangement, I'm about to be like, by arrangement, I mean he or she now lives with me completely. You get visitation, and he can never come around. Cause that's just this dude. Like, we'll read topics and laugh because it just. I don't think we're laughing at the situation. So, y'all know, we're not laughing at the situation. We're kind of laughing at the audacity of it, and it just sounds like ridiculously overt. I think any real man would understand. Heck, your boys, Benny Siegel, State Property.
Yeah.
Remember and that was just a movie.
Yeah.
His baby mother got beat up. He was crying.
100%.
Because he already talked to dude, and it was a movie, but it's Benny Siegel, so could have been real life too. And he already talked to dude, told him, keep your hands to yourself. That's my baby mother. He went and did it again. Beans was crying because he was like, now I got to kill him. Now I got to kill him.
Yeah.
You want to play? Now I got to kill him. Or whatever. People don't play with the mother. It's not even about protection of the mother. It's like, yo, I can't have my kid looking at you all beat up.
The crazy thing is I saw a video. This dude was with his girl. His girl got rocked by a girl, dropped her. And then he just dropped it. He just started hooking off on the girl. And my thing is, what do you do in that situation?
Oh, that I've seen a few dudes beat up the girl too. And it just gets super messy after that. Now, if my wife or my girl, whoever it is, this is all scenario stuff.
Yeah.
If you're having a fight one-on-one and they're fighting and there's a lot of swinging, but then the other girl woman or girl catch her, boom, and she drop her, I'm not hitting her. I'm just gonna pick her up, but the fight's over. Now, if they was fighting straight up like punch, I can't see me knocking, because my thing is this: if I hit another dude's sister of the thing, it's gunplay after that. I know that whoever that dude is, he's got to come with gunplay.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's a video floating around. I'm gonna try to show you after the show. Dude, it was a dude and his girl. Another dude and his girl. They was inside like a Wawa or something, and the dude started fighting. As the dude started fighting, the one girl putting her hair up. She walked over to the other girl, stole her, and they started going at it. But the one girl had her on the floor, kind of jabbing her. But the other girl that was on the floor was actually getting hits too. So it wasn't like she was getting ground pound.
Yeah.
She was on the bottom, but she still was getting her hits off or whatever. But if you look at the video, and it's not even like you looking at it close because you can see it in the frame.
Right.
The dudes were like this. They both looked over. You saw them literally tap each other like, nah, that's enough. And they just broke up their girls.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Like, they just stopped. Like, it was one of those, hey, yo, come on, let's break them up. And they just broke them up. And
it's because like when I see stuff like that, my girl is never fighting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what's going on. Like, I don't care who's saying what. We gotta go. You're not fighting when I'm there. Like, that's crazy. No, so you're not even gonna get a chance to get rocked, dropped, none of that. You not fighting while I'm there. Now we out of here, man. That way I don't have to be put in a situation and do I steal off on a female? You know what I mean? That's crazy. It's a hard, like, I don't even see how people hit women. Like, it's crazy every time I see it, and I've seen it in real life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when, a dude just crazy style just cock back and just bang.
I'm going on record. The last time I hit a female was third grade. And
I was about to lose it, yo. I was about to say, what?
No, I was going to say, last night of female was 3 weeks ago. Like, no.
I thought you was about to be like, yo, I'm not going to lie. It was this one time. I was about to say, who are you?
The last time I hit a female was in third grade. And I didn't even punch her. I definitely just mushed her. So really not even a hit. Because you got to think about it. The girls used to be taller and bigger than us.
Yeah.
Now, my thing is this. If you're a guy, you might fight a dude that beat you up before. You get stronger, you get taller, you want your fight back. You can't really get your fight back after a girl beat you up in first grade and second grade. You just gotta. Now, what happened was this girl, I'm not gonna say her name, she kind of ragtagged me a little bit in first and second grade. It definitely was some ragtag. It was a whole bunch of like just swinging me and stuff like that.
Hold up, she beat you up in first grade. You got your lick back in third, yo.
No, what happened was she ragtagged me first and second grade.
Oh God!
And I'm talking about the fights would go the same way with her, with me. She would. First off, she was snuffing me every time, and that's like I've never seen it coming. Every time I'll be talking junk to her, forget you, da 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 da. She would do the move. She would look away like whatever, and just jab me every time. Like every time. It's like, yo, I remember my man Jermaine was like, how do you keep getting caught with the same hit? So she looks away, I follow her eyes, she hits me. Now what happened, fast forward to third grade, me and her, it's not even that we had beef.
Yeah.
You know, the summertime happens, you know, everybody come back, you got new clothes, you got a new attitude, you know, did some things over the summer. It's a new you, so to speak. And she kind of like took something off my desk. And I was like, yo, give me back my stuff. Stop. I was like, I hit her with the grown, because you know, like when you're young, you hear like other phrases, you want to use it. I was like, yo, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Give that back. I was trying to be mad, mature. We're not doing that. Give me that back. Of course, she not listening, because she like, Negro, I will ragtag you again. You know I get down. She didn't say that, but her look was like, you know who you talking to, right?
Oh, man.
She got in my face. I'm not proud, but I kind of am. I put my hands in her face. I was like, yo, I hit her with this. Yo, stop playing with me. And I just mushed her. She fell and everything. But when I mushed her, I knew I had to berate her. So I mushed her down. She hit the floor. I was like, yo, stop playing with me, because the next time I'm going to punch you. And she choked it. And that was the last time I ever put my hands on feet.
Hey, yo. Third grade chronicles is crazy, man.
Oh.
That's nuts.
Girls was big back then, I'm telling you. It was big. They was getting, yo, it's my homegirl. Shout out to my homegirl, Ronisha. This is Harlem in the building. Yo, Ronisha put a comment on my page like a month ago. And because she's like in the church and everything, real heavy now. Her kids, I talked to her. She was like, my kids have no idea, like how I used to be and all that. And she made a comment. She was like, yo, y'all act like y'all afraid. So I commented on her page. I said, Ronisha, I am still afraid of you. And that's when she bust out laughing and stuff. Now, Ronisha, the thing with Ronisha was this. She wasn't just beating people up on some old windmill. No, George was like, shut up. Shut up, shut up. Boom. Like she had abilities with what she was doing.
Oh, man.
I think she lived, rest in peace, I think she lived in my man Lamar, Big L's building too. I think she lived in L's building and all that. But yeah, man, it was rough back then, but for the most part, Ocean View does not condone violence towards women or kids at all. So that's it. But I wanted to, it was another joint, the joint you put up there. Let me see. I just saw it in here. Bear with me for a second. There you go. What are they talking about with Kendrick's wife?
Oh, the joint on the joint on the record. You know what I mean? He talking about Drake being white. You know what I mean? Everybody's coming at Drake's whiteness right now. You know what I mean? So, of course, the internet going internet, and they say, how can he talk about Drake being white and Drake can't say the N-word when your wife is half white? You know what I mean? Just like Drake. And it was just people trying to drag Kendrick for pulling the race card on Drake when he has a wife that's pretty much the same, grew up in a house with a white mom. You know what I mean? I think it's a difference. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he allows his wife to say nigga in the house. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's all that was that's all that was going on in there. But I think it's a difference. I think Drake, I don't know, man. I think it's rap stuff. You know what I mean? It's just rap stuff. They allowed to embellish and take different angles. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. And you know, his wife is black, and so is Drake, and his wife grew up in Compton and all that stuff. You know what I mean? They knew each other since high school, sweetheart. He married her. You know what I mean? So I just thought it was a little corny, but it was valid. You know what I mean?
This is my thing, and you touched on something about embellishing, because is Kendrick supposed to be like a Crip or something? That's what they said. Is that the word? He's a Crip?
Blood affiliated.
Whatever. I don't think there's no violence coming out of him. That doesn't mean he's a punk, but I figured it out why I think I'm against all these diss records right now. And it's going to sound a little ignorant, but this is just my thoughts alone. I think what really makes beefs, especially on record, is the hint of real violence that could happen. Now, it's a thin line, and it's a gray area because we don't want these artists to actually kill each other. We've seen it with Big and Pac. We've seen it with Vaughn and all. People really can die out here. But beefs that you might feel like if they see each other, somebody might get punched in the face. I think that's what heightens the beef, and because the words now mean that much more. I say all that to say, this is why I'm not in tune with these joints going on now. Because, now hold up, I think Chris Brown and Quavo could get it on.
Yeah,
I think they can get it on.
They'll crash out.
They'll crash out. Chris Brown is already, he's Simon Phoenix. Once he slapped up Rihanna, he turned into Simon Phoenix. If you don't know who Simon Phoenix is, that is Wesley Snipes' character from Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Because remember when he had his hair gold and all that? Chris Brown, he reinvented himself as the bad guy. Like, look here, because whoever his publicist was like, look here, you're never going to get back to the All-American boy. So now you're going to have to...
He spoke to that.
Now you're going to have to embrace the bad boy.
Well, he spoke to that. He spoke to being in the... coming into offices when he first got signed with all this red on and these rags and trying to be a blood and all that stuff, because apparently he was affiliated a long time, and you know, they looked at him and said, no, take all that off and stop all that. You know what I mean? And they market him as the boy next door. Then he gets into it with Rihanna and does that thing, and he was kind of ostracized. So, like you said, he was allowed to reinvent himself as whatever he wanted to be. Hence all the tattoos and you know what I mean? But it's entertainment, so you don't know who people really are. You see what I'm saying? But I do think Chris Brown will crash out. Period.
He'll fight Quavo.
Yes.
He'll fight him.
But I also think that Kendrick will crash out. Though he may not be a full-fledged active gang member, he did grow up in Compton, and he did he presents to me through his music and through the way he is as somebody who will stand on whatever he is doing. Now, that being said, you know, he's a little guy. And, you know, but, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? If you want to crash out, you want to crash out. Whatever comes with that, comes with that. Now, Drake is a wild card. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know. I don't know if he's swinging on somebody. All I know is he all I've heard is he did get smacked by Diddy. You know what I mean? And that's why Kendrick said I might bring Diddy back. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's what that line was about?
Yes.
First off, hold up. I was thinking about that too, and I want you to stay on track. I don't subscribe to no Diddy. I don't subscribe to that. I'm not saying that. No. I'm not saying that. That's Puff is still my guy until some real charges get brought up and all this other stuff. So I'm not subscribing to.
It don't really sound cool to me.
It don't sound cool because to me it's corny. It's like a fake no homo. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like that. And on top of that, like you said, it don't sound cool. And Diddy smacking up Drake. Diddy's not a small dude. That's the crazy thing too. Like he's not small, and he's clearly willing to touch you. Now, granted, it was a time you ain't think Diddy would fight Suge Knight or whatever, but Suge was like, "Yo, you can fight Puff, and Suge, you fight Big." Whatever. Like he was on some wild, whatever. I'm looking like so, but Drake can't be. I'll be out here consistently getting smacked and peed on. Because Meek Mill said he got peed on.
He's not the first person who said that though.
So he just walking around, niggas just leaking on this nigga?
No, I'm just saying that Meek is not the first person who said that. You know what I mean? So it must be some validity to it. I don't know what happened, but I do. I though I don't think Drake will crash out. I think he surrounds himself with people that would do it for him.
Yo, Drake is too huge of a star to be out here getting smacked up and peed on, and I don't understand what's going on.
Well, he was when these things happened, he wasn't as big of a star as he is now. You know what I mean? And I don't think he was as insulated as he is now. And for Diddy is Diddy, like Drake ain't the only person that he smacked up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, you know, that is what it is. So I say that to say this. I do believe that, you know, this could escalate. You know what I mean? I hope that it doesn't. I do believe that this could escalate. The reason I think it won't is because it's way too much money involved in this. And Drake is not jeopardizing money for anything. That's all he talks about. I don't know. Kendrick might. Like I don't think Kendrick is consumed by wealth. You know what I mean? Or he would put out more product. That's how I feel.
Kendrick does have a song that I actually do enjoy. I think the drum be like, "All the stars are older." I don't even know how to go. It just makes me feel good when I be hearing it. I be like, "Don't let me go." I like that joint, but
Kendrick has many songs that I like.
He's probably got 2 or 3. I don't like his voice. Don't like his cadence all the time. I think the stuff he says be dope, but you know, people losing their mind over that Parkinson line. I was like, it was mid to me. It was cool. I like how he set it up.
It was a good line. It wasn't the first time I heard somebody
and I think that.
But it was a good line. It was a good line in the context of what he was using it for. You know what I mean? Me personally, I like the beef. I like the back and forth. You know what I mean?
You like the beats?
I like the beef. Like I like the back and forth because rap, it's a little boring right now. You know what I mean? I have to go to, you know, the R&B side. Now, it's certain guys that I listen to when I want to hear bars, you know what I mean? But as far as making music, and it's, you know, I'm from a different era where, you know, maybe it's radio. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't listen to the radio anymore and nobody really listens to radio anymore. Maybe it's that. You know what I mean? That,
no, why? Nobody. I'm not gonna say nobody listens to the radio. That artists literally go up to stations now and do not rap. Like that's the new. Like it used to be, have your 32s, have your 48s waiting for the same fact. Big Hot 97, rhyme ready. Like that was just a metaphor for you always gotta have bars on deck. Now it's who can have the best interview. That's what everything is about now.
It's true. It's certain places you go to rap. You go to LA Leakers to rap.
True.
You know what I mean? Flex have somebody up there every now and then. And Sway every now and then, but
you don't go to the Breakfast Club to rap. You go to the Breakfast Club to rap. You're gonna be up there sounding like Safari. Rip it on any beat. That's an adaptation. I'm bringing it back. The money's on Slim, nigga. I'm calling you Atkins. And that's it. Like Charlamagne's going to kill you. Like you go up there to get clout for rap.
Well, that's not the outlet for that. That's the outlet for interviews and gossip and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's not radio is not like it used to be. You know what I mean? And that's less of a radio show, more of a podcast type thing. You know what I mean?
They judged on the podcast joint too. They're in the top 30. Like, period.
Oh, well.
They're in the top 30.
Yeah, they do numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ever since Ray J.
And 6ix9ine.
Yeah, but Ray J is what kicked it off.
That's what kicked it off?
Yeah, Ray J is what kicked it off, man. Ray J was up there high as hell talking about Fad. Bugging. Tripping.
No, I remember
he called up there.
I remember
It's
listening.
crazy.
I remember listening to that joint. He was like, I let that nigga drop my top.
First of all,
Fab was disgusted. Like, what?
First of all,
about?
Not too much on Ray J. Ray J is a legend. Ray J is a legend. In my eyes, Ray J can do no wrong. He has had too much craziness happen to him on camera and just came out on top of it, yo. Ray J is a legend, man. He started all this reality wave for entertainment. Like he's a legend. It just is what it is, man. Now he a legend in the tech field, in the tech space. Like he a legend.
I want to clear something up with you. I'm kind of doing a little Q&A real quick. What is your feeling? This is a side note. What is your feelings on the whole, yo, what's up, daddy? That phrase. Do you have an issue with that phrase? If somebody called you daddy?
Not if you are over 50. Because it was a phrase that people used, you know what I mean, back then. You see what I'm saying? I think that people like to rewrite history. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that people used to say back then that sounds weird now. But the old heads talk like that, especially if you was getting a little bit of money, and you know what I mean?
So you have an issue with Diddy saying it? Well, he is over 50. Yeah,
no, I don't have an issue with Diddy saying it because, of course, you're going to say, hey, yo, pause, but I don't really have it because it sounds crazy now.
I don't. This is where the pushback, because I kind of set up the question. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to play it now, but I got joints where Nas is saying it, Jadakiss is saying it, Jay-Z says it. Like,
they all
I kind of think it's a New York thing in terms of that. Now, the problem was this. When Diddy was inebriated on Drink Champs, and I think how he said it, people tried to make something into it. Because, okay, I'll give you a small example. The Lox album, when they got the first time they introduced J Hood, and look at the Jay Jerkin nigga skit, and Jadakiss is clearly like, you doing good, daddy, you doing good. Dudes talk like that.
Yeah.
Like, people talk like that. I've said it, like, yo, daddy, what up, man? You know what I'm saying? Because I have females tell me, like, yo, that's funny, you calling other dudes baby. I'm like, dudes talk like that. I give you a pound, what up, baby, what's going on? But I'm looking like, we just can't, I guess my point is, you can't always let people dictate how you talk and how you move with stuff and things like
These
that.
kids be calling each other my heart now, yo. They be like, yo, what's good, my heart?
Now that sounds weird.
That is wild to me. But the kids do a whole lot of wild stuff that's to me. But I look at it the same way as the old head saying daddy and stuff like that. It's all pause. You know what I mean? To me, all of it.
To me, this is the gayest life has been. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the gayest time in American and life history. And this is the generation that's calling things gay, and they're literally super gay now.
So I was talking to a young lady, she in her 20s, right? And and she's from Georgia. Okay. About guys painting their nails, because dudes be painting their nails now. You know what I mean? Drake always has his nails painted and everything. She doesn't see anything wrong with it, right? And I'm like, all right, to each his own, but you from Atlanta. Like, she from near Atlanta, right outside of Atlanta. And it's like, you know there's a lot of gay dudes in Atlanta. So if you was a straight guy, why would you want to do something that the gay guys do? Because they would get like a false impression of you, right?
Facts.
It would just seem like you're advertising to them. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like to me. So if I'm from where it's a lot of gay dudes, I would never paint my nails and wear a bag, because that signals to all the gay dudes that I may be down with whatever y'all down with.
So basically the bag and the nails are the gay bat sign. Is that what you're saying? Because no.
First of all, there's no gay bat sign.
Yes, it is.
Yo,
yes,
chill.
Yes, it is. It is I can tell you the gay bat sign. You look in the air, it's just a hand.
Hey, yo,
just like this.
You're doing too much, yo.
In a circle. But no, let me tell you something about all this Gary Apple yellowness that's going on. I'm from the era of when we were in school. There was only 1 to 2 gay guys, and ironically, this gonna sound bad, and no disrespect to the name that I'm going to use, because I know a few guys that have this name, and they're not gay. But when I was coming up, every gay dude's name was Maurice. I'm telling you, like, yo, first off, I took account.
Oh my God!
Every time I kept running to a guy that was gay, his name was Maurice. So I kind of grew up with the thinking,
it's crazy.
If your name's Maurice, probably Gary Apple Yellow.
So, like, first of all, Maurice being a gay name is crazy. I knew a lot of Maurices, and I do not think that they were gay. And a lot of people will venture to say there was only 2 or 3 openly gay guys, or gay people, but there were probably more gay people because it wasn't really accepted back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I tell my daughter to have grace with some of the older guys. My daughter's 16. So she look at how like old heads throw around some gay slurs or say craziness, and I'm like, you gotta understand, like, or she'll listen to, like, I'll be playing some like old Locks or Jay-Z, and she'll be like, yo, y'all crazy. And I'm like, well, it was a different time. You know what I mean? It was a different time. You gotta have grace with people. Yes, it's cringy now the way the F slur was being thrown around and stuff like that. But back then it was really common. You know what I mean?
Especially when what's his name? Eddie Murphy in Raw, when he did that whole scene about when I go to San Francisco, he was like, yes, it's him. And he was like, soon as I pull out the airport, woo, 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 woo. And this was crazy. He said, woo, woo. He said, it won't be no siren. He said, it'll be a F word on the roof. just with a flashlight saying, woo, woo. Eddie Murphy would not make a dime in this climate. He would have been canceled. His comedy would have been, put it this, he would have had to been Dr. Doolittle for his career.
Well, 90% of the things that went on in the 70s, 80s, and 90s would not exist now. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, it would be canceled because, you know, I don't know if it's the heightened sensitivity of people or if it's just that we are growing in our knowledge of things as human beings. You know what I mean? It could just be that we're better humans. Or it could just be like we more sensitive. I don't know. Either way, you know what I mean?
I don't know if we're more sensitive. I think we're living in more of an inclusionary type times. Mm-hmm. It's like bullies have always been a thing, whether it's in school, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's just outside or any place else. So how do you eliminate bullies? You make the minorities the majority, or you try to even the numbers, because gay bashing at that time back then when they was, you know, people was getting these charges and things like that, that's because it was a small amount of them. Now they're out openly and you're liable, like you're not going to see no gay bashing like physically now because it's like 500 people just rolling around. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. Like, they gonna fight you. They going, and then, you know, they got allies with the trans who was like, oh, y'all still remember we still really y'all dudes. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
they
it's an inclusion every time.
Nah, you'll still see the gay bashing every now and then, but
Verbally,
you'll look
not
online
physically.
and you'll see the gay dudes tearing somebody up, beating the brakes off of somebody, and you'll be like, well, leave him alone.
It was a dude, I'm not going to say his name. This once again happened at Morgan State. This might turn into a Morgan State Chronicle. Tell y'all something, man. A lot of y'all had a good college career.
Oh, man.
Y'all was chilling. But, and I know y'all enjoy the hood stories and everything, but don't let me really say the stories that people really never heard. And I'm going to give you a glimpse of one right now. 1995 through 96. We had our RA. That's residential assistant. Correct? That's what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. And he got into it with a guy. This guy was from Queens. He's from the projects, Albany projects. I think that's in Queens, I believe so. And, or Brooklyn, one of those two. And he got into it with this guy. The RA happened to be Gary Apple Yellow. I personally was cool with him because, once again, you do what you do. Never approached me. We were good. But he kept always calling this certain RA the F word. One day, the F word, dude, RA, it was enough. Enough was enough. When I mean to tell you, he beat the crap out this dude on the third floor. And he had him on the floor, berating him after he beat him up. And then the dude gets up and was like, yeah, I'm about to call the RD. I'm about to get you fired. I was sitting there like, oh, this dude played super
crazy.
tough Tony. You've been calling this dude every name but his name for the past 2-3 months since we've been out here. And when he had enough, he put hands on you. Now you want to get the man fired. Better leave those alphabet boys alone. I'm telling you. But this drum is crazy.
Morgan was a good time. My daughter's looking at colleges right now. I want her to go to Morgan, of course. My wife wants her to leave and go somewhere else. I just want her to go to a HBCU. You know what I mean? Ultimately, she gonna go to wherever giving her some money, but I want her to go to a HBCU. And I think I talked her into. I think she want to go to a HBCU. Yeah.
Do you want to stay? You want her to stay in town or get up out of here?
I told her if she stay in Maryland, she gotta go to Morgan.
Does she gotta live on campus?
Yes.
Yeah, ain't gonna be none of that ripping and running every time.
She has to live on campus. But if she leaves Maryland, I don't care. As long as I would like her to go to a HBCU. Ultimately, it's her decision, but I don't care. Just go to a HBCU.
So, this lady said something. Women, ooh, they be jumping out the window. Now, a caption was put up. A man will put his happiness aside for his woman, but a woman will put her man aside for her happiness. How much truth to that statement?
How much truth to that statement? Well, I'll say this. It'll sound crazy if a man it says they just leaving their woman because they not happy. But if a woman says, "Oh, I just wasn't happy," and they left their man, then it's it's like, well, you need your happiness, queen. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna give some pushback. A man can absolutely leave his woman if he's not happy.
100% he can. But what I'm saying is,
if he says it,
is when he's going to get crucified for it. You know what I mean? Why you not happy? You got to explain yourself. Like, what she do wrong? A woman doesn't have to explain that. Woman just has to have her, you know what I mean? She can be working on herself. She can be doing all these things. And I also think men you know, when you get deep into a relationship, you sacrifice a lot. I think men and women sacrifice a lot. But I'll say happiness, the saying is a saying for a reason. Happy wife, happy life. There's no saying like that for a husband.
He said something about like happy spouse, get you a house. I don't know. I'm
Still not a husband.
Still not a husband. But the whole thing about a man, women do sacrifice. I give him that.
Yes.
I don't think a man's sacrifice is seen as much, because I think a man's sacrifice gets viewed underneath, oh, y'all supposed to do this. It's a whole bunch of taken for granted in terms of that.
Yes.
Women get taken advantage of kind of overtly. Like it's kind of easy, not easy to take. This is what I mean. It looks more, you can see it visibly on how a man could take a woman for granted. When a woman's taking a guy for granted, it's kind of gets thrown back at the guy like, well, is she really taking advantage of you? Is she really, it's questioned, like you said. It's kind of like, if you express and say, I feel she's taking advantage of me, I feel she's taking me for granted, and when you explain what it is, somehow that's going to get thrown back on you like, no, that's not what she means. That's not how she feels. You know, all right. You know what I'm tired of hearing? I am tired of hearing, oh, you have to be the man that lets a woman live in her feminine energy. I don't personally even know what that means.
Well, I don't either. What are we letting them live in? If they're not living in their feminine energy, what are they living in? I don't know.
And by feminine energy, they were talking about paying the bills, and not some of them, all of them. I was watching, the little show, the show with the balloon pop thing that they be having on the internet.
Yeah.
Yo, it was a chick that was on the joint. She was voluptuous. Dudes just started popping their balloons. Like all the dudes popped their balloon. I think she was like 30, 31. Mm-hmm. Clearly visibly looked good. Mm-hmm. Everything else. She said, I'm looking for a guy that will accept my submissive ways. And those dudes popped their balloon. I said, what? Like she came out and said, I'm looking for a guy that wants to accept my submissive self to them. In my mind, and maybe she needed to explain a little more, I saw the chick from Coming to America bark like a dog. That's what I heard. I know what she said, but what I heard was something totally different. So I'm like, you dudes popped the balloon after a woman said, crazy. After a woman said, I just want a man that's going to be strong enough to accept my submissiveness. I said, what? I'd be like, I am that man right there. And all these dudes popped their balloon. One dude said, it's because you're wearing gloves. I was like, oh yeah. And so I put a comment in. I said, if y'all gay, just say that. Like just get it out the way, man. It's crazy.
So
man.
to go on the topic though.
All right.
What percentage of the things that you do with your woman together are the things that you want to do and the things that she wants to do? So the things that y'all do together as a unit, what percentage of that stuff is like stuff that you wanted to do? And what percentage of the stuff is stuff that she wanted to do?
If we're being honest, 75 to 80% of the things that I want to do. And she gets a good 25 to 20% of what she wants to do. I can do better with that. The thing is, this is where the confusion comes in at sometimes. So if you got a child with somebody and a woman starts talking about things like dating and doing stuff, and I'm like, are you talking about as a family or us one-on-one? Because that's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Because for the most part, it's whatever the kid wants to do. Like, for example, my son is like in Chinese, he's in the Chinese immersion program. He's doing well in it. Like he's like the man in that joint. And I'm not just saying like it's my son. Like he really is. Like, you know, they always use him and stuff. But this little dude will randomly come up to us, and he's been a few places already. He's got his passport and everything. He hit me like, Dad, I want to go to Tibet. And she got the nerve like, I guess we got to look up some flights. And I'm sitting there looking like, Tibet? When I hit Tibet, going back again to my comedic genius, I start thinking of the golden child. I want the knife. Like, Tibet is freezing. Like, no. And he was like, oh yeah, we need, and he knows all the language. You're going to the Shaanxi region. I'm like, word, no doubt, son. Back in my mind, like, boy, if you don't take yourself to Chinatown in D.C. and enjoy it, you better get up out my face. That's what you can do with that. Please.
Nah, I mean, kids like that. My daughter wanted to go to Paris because she was into art, and we went to Paris.
Y'all did? Oh, throw it in our face. Why don't you?
Nah, we did. She was into art. We went to the Louvre, to explore the museum.
Did you take pictures in the Louvre?
Yeah, got pictures.
I thought you wasn't allowed to.
Nah, you can take pictures. We took pictures in the Louvre. You can't take pictures in somewhere. You can't take pictures. The Palladium in Rome, and I think you can take pictures in the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican.
You went there?
Yeah.
Wow.
But at a certain like time, like you just gotta be silent. Like the guys with guns just be like, silence. You just gotta shut up. They be having big guns.
Did it have like a London Bridge type thing over there?
When we were in London,
around Big Ben.
When we were in London, we saw Big Ben. We went.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
And of course, we know what it is now.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna ask you a question. Remember, Nice and Smooth?
Yeah.
When he said, "Ever since then, honey's clocked me like Big Ben."
Yeah.
Did you know what he was talking about?
No, not at that time.
Thank you.
I did not know what he was talking about.
I don't feel bad because I didn't.
Yes.
Because I didn't know. I didn't know at all. Okay, what about this? Because these things always stuck out to me. So you didn't know the Big Ben joint. So, Tribe Called Quest. Benita Applebum. When Q-Tip says, satisfaction, I got the right tactics. And if you need them, I got crazy prophylactics. Did you know he was talking about condoms then?
Yes, I did know he was talking about condoms.
So you knew that was a condom prophylactic?
Yes.
You knew that off on top, or because see, I know how you came up.
Yeah.
Did you had your uncles and all that in the round?
Yeah. But I knew that. I don't even know how I knew. I always knew that he was talking about condoms.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew that.
Because it's like that's the thing with songs. So we was in a barber shop and songs was playing, and you know we was pretty much the older guys there. It was maybe two younger guys that were barbers, and we were singing all the songs. This was R&B, rap, everything. But this was all like 80s, early 80s, mid 80s, some 90s stuff, but mostly the 80s joints. And we singing them joints or whatever. And I said, look at him. Not one memory is coming to his mind. This is just a song to him or whatever. I was like, nothing is coming up.
Yeah.
See, because the thing about it is, like you always say, music is like, it puts you in the time and place.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about that is you can hear those songs, because I got an old school playlist. And all right, for me, when I want to think about my mother, not saying that she won't come up in my mind, but like when I just want to have good memories and stuff, I'll put this playlist on. And you know, that's what, you know, to come to mind and all the memories and stuff. But the flip side of that is this: when it's not the joints where I'm thinking about my mother or something, you may hear a song and then it's a time frame and you start thinking like, dang, none of those people are here no more. Like it can put you here, or it can bring you down. Like not bring you down, but you be like, oh man, I remember being with such and such. Dang, he not around no more. She not around no more.
That's what music does. It's two albums that will always be like near and dear to me, and it will always make me feel a certain way, make me feel great. And those two albums are Jay-Z Hard Knock Life and NRE.
Wow, because that was 98.
1998 is when I got my first car.
All right, okay.
I played them two albums every single day, all day, when I got my first car. It was that and the Best of Beans, Cosmic Kev, Best of Beans mixtape. You know what I mean? Anything I hear from those albums take me straight back to 1998. When I first got my car, I'm driving around, picking people up, going to see girls. Because, you know, when you get a car for the first time, like, the world open up.
Everything opens up.
The world, like, you mean, hold on, I can just keep
too
going.
Far.
Word.
Let me tell you like this, and I'm glad you brought that. That was a great memory. When I got my first car, it was 2001. And we were about to leave the dealership. And they told me that I was going to get the car. I didn't have no CD, nothing to play. My brother had a promotional CD on the floor in his car. So I just grabbed that. And it's crazy because I'm going to play some of it because I don't want YouTube or whatever to block it. But this was one of my favorite artists anyway, but this was one of his newer songs at the time. And when I mean to tell you, I hit them streets so hard when it came on, and you were lucky because it was Jay-Z. This was my man, Cool G Rap. And this was the song that I blast all the way back uptown. Hold on.
My life, nigga. All of my life I live. I'll be talking with you.
You couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing when it came to that joint. And it felt like he was talking to me. Or whatever. Like, the song was about me. I don't care what else he was talking about. I'm just sitting there, because like you said, this was my thing when I got that car, and you can relate to, of course, and you said the world opening up. The first thing I started thinking was, I don't have to wait for anybody anymore.
Nobody.
Anymore. I'm out. I don't have to wait. I don't have to be dressed super early because somebody's coming to get me. I'm finally on my own time. Truth be told, my mother, I think she was more excited for that for me than me. Because that's all she kept talking about. She was like, you don't gotta worry about somebody dropping you off, somebody leaving you. Because I would tell her stories and stuff. She was like, you go when you want to go, you leave when you want to leave. And that's what that joint do.
It's weird though, man. I couldn't wait to drop my daughter. It's weird, man. I'm like, listen, you gotta get your license so you can start driving. Like, I'm about to get her a car. She like, yeah, she's just so spoiled. She like, I know. It's cool. I'm like, I had my permit. I had my car before I had my license. So I had my permit, and a few months later, I got my license. It was like, she just dragging her feet like, I'm going to get to it. I'm like, as soon as you get your license, you getting some keys. She like, I know. Kids is spoiled. I don't know, man. I was ready to go. I didn't even know I was getting a car. Oh. I just got my license. My mom was like, let's go get you something.
Well, I didn't know I was getting mine either, but what happened was, I think it hit the fan. She called me up. I was at home. It was a Saturday. I'll never forget how this conversation went. She called me up. She was like, I didn't even have a cell phone at the time. It was a house phone. Mm-hmm. So she called me. She was like, what are you doing now? Because she know I like to party and stuff. I was like, nah, I ain't got no ride. People keep saying they're going to come get me. I'm tired of doing that. And then she was just like, yeah, you can't depend on nobody, yada, yada, yada. So we talking. Then she was like, well, if you was to get a car, like, what would you like? I was like, hold on for a minute. And I remember I was like, yes. Because she doesn't ask questions like that for no reason.
Right.
And, I started going to the top. I was like, yeah, I like Mercedes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, honestly, how I think I look, my style says I need a Mercedes. I was like, but then I had to play the road. I was like, well, if you were to get me a car without me knowing anything or saying anything, what would you get me? Remember at the time, them joints, the Toyota Sequoias, the trucks?
Yeah.
She was like, I like those trucks. She's like, you're tall, you need a truck. I was like, yeah, like a Range Rover? She was like, yeah, something like that. I'm doing all superficial stuff I hear Jay-Z and all them talk about or whatever.
Oh man.
Oh man, it's crazy. But yeah, man, you know, those memories, they always stick out to you and everything. But it's been another dope episode of Oshin's View. I'm Oshin, that's Willie Negro. See you next week. And long story short, episode, I believe it's 5.
I think it's 5.
Will be released as well too. It's on. We're also on Spotify. We're on iHeart. A few more things. We'll start listing them. But yeah, if you don't look at it on YouTube, you can listen to it in Spotify, iHeart, and a few other platforms we have them on. But I'll list them. Peace.
Peace.